It's like a tradition now. It starts with laughter. I swear, the podcast before the podcast. The behind the scenes that you will never see.
You will never see.
Is so much better. But it's not to say this isn't good.
Oh. Are we 23 now?
I believe we are.
Oh. Oh.
I will check.
Today's topic, we have discussions of Woman King, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Color Purple, Waiting to Excel, House de la Girl Groove Back. What else again?
Past and present.
Every other Morris Chestnut movie. Oh, shucks. I think for a while, Morris Chestnut and Gabrielle Union were in every movie together. I'm like, oh, jeez. It was mental. Anyway, today, Just Cruising, episode 23. With my buddy here, Dr. Love. I'm Kevlar Kess. Today's topic is going to be representation and misrepresentation of people in the movie industry, no?
Black men in the movie industry. Black men and women, I guess.
Okay. Awesome. Let's do this. I'm laughing already. I don't know if I'm laughing. So,
This is going to be a good one.
we just talking about Willis in the beginning. No, I'm joking. Right. Here's one thing that happens, right? And I say this. Here's why I want to talk about this. I like talking about this kind of representation for a reason. For example, every time I walk out my house, I walk out the front door, so does every other black man and or woman, we generally get misrepresented or typecast. It's just general. Just honestly, let's say everyone gets a typecast. So I could be dressed in the nicest suits out there, dressed in the nicest fly suit out there. If you go out dressed like everybody else, but just the fact that we look a certain way, we get judged based on someone else or something else. Can I give an example?
Please do.
Alright, so for example, if I say just walking past somebody, I like this one. You know, use cars. I'm in a car right now. We're in a car. I'm walking past someone's car, just walking past cars, right? Just generally, and the owner of the cars, they're outside, and I'm walking past the car. I'm not even looking at your car. I'm not doing it. Yes, you see that? It begins, right? I'm not even looking at your car. Just walking past your car. Every day, without fail, what happens? The owner locks their car as I'm walking past the car. I don't want your car. This happens every day. You're walking past someone's car, you say the alarm goes chip chip. Like, like they're checking the car again to see if it's locked again. It happens every time.
Yeah, I've had that.
You've had that. Imagine. Everyone's had that. Everyone's had that. I don't get it. Why is that? Is that because you see people, because you see more black people as car thieves in movies than in reality? So you now assume, because there's a thing that happens with most human beings, is that what you see in the movies kind of stays in the back of your head for a while, and you think that that's what it is. For example, there are parts of the world, parts of this country, that you see more black people on television than in reality, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you see black people on TV, the black men kind of have like 3 or 4 stereotypes, and the black women have 3 or 4 stereotypes as well. So when you see the black people in the movies, unconsciously they are expected to play this character, this character, this character. So the black guy will play the character of the old teacher, the one that doesn't do the action but just talks and teaches. The Morgan Freeman character, right?
Okay, go on.
Right. You have the
sort of the wise
old man. Yeah. So
yeah.
Shawshank Redemption, Bruce Almighty,
Driving Miss Daisy,
every other Seven, Kiss the Girls, blah blah. Dude, you name it.
Morgan Freeman role.
Yeah, the Morgan Freeman role is the old wise man.
No
right?
disrespect to Morgan, obviously.
Anyway, or you get the drug dealer, the one who's like heartless drug dealer, just the New Jack City one. Say, cancel this bitch. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sit
your
your ass down before I make change. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Yeah. So you get the drug dealer, you get the old wise one, you get the loud, indiscreet ones, the ones that can't speak English or can't say a word straight, the ones that go, every sentence has to end with yo, da 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 da, yo, da da da, yo. It's just weird. Had a new French guy come to my class last week. His French is French, like no English ever. Just started learning English a couple months ago, and he just moved to London a month ago, right? And he learned something because we're in South London. He learned something. I don't know who taught him this. Maybe his other friends, his non-black friends, taught him something with the whole mind that when you see black people, call them dog or doggy.
Oh,
so he comes to my gym.
Oh,
It's cute.
that's unfortunate.
he
Oh, God.
he comes to my gym and he's got a nice accent, right? French accent. He comes to my gym and just like this, hey, what's up, my doggy? I just held his shoulder. I was laughing.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're cute.
I know you didn't hold back either because
I was just
you're
like,
you
I'm
just
like,
fully belly laughed at his face.
I'm like, you're cute. You're not that cute. But you're cute. No.
Oh man.
I'm like, please, I'm crying. My abs. He said, I said, where'd you learn that? He said, my friend stopped me and said, they want to get you killed. Stop. Oh, my feelings.
Oh, who are these friends, man?
Dude, it's cute. But again, it's what you see on TV.
Alright, so wise old man, drug dealer, loud guy, nerd,
second fiddler, nerd.
like
yes,
nerd, kind
yes.
of studious.
Oh, thank you.
Character.
Oh, yes, nerd.
Put them in there.
Nerd. Yes, so you get the nerd character. Basically, what you get is you get characters who are not fit to lead. That makes sense.
Keep going.
That's it. You get none for the men. You get non-leaders. You get not fit to lead. For the women, you get the
or they're leaders, but they're toxic leaders in terms of like the criminal thing you're talking about.
Oh,
where, like they run a gang or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you do sometimes get good leaders, but it's not the norm. I would say.
Thank you. Apologies. Yes.
You get some, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's the norm. Like if we're looking like out of 100 parts, it's not going to be like 70-80%, is it? I'd say the majority is going to be they're going to fall into those more typecast roles.
Out of 100, you may get 10.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's 10%. That's not good enough.
In terms of roles, yeah.
Roles, yeah, because roles are typecast. I mean, you've had roles offered to you. I've had roles offered to me as well, and we're like,
Not doing that.
Like, no, you're gonna play the. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, swear in every sentence. And
You're
stab
playing
someone
the.
or get stabbed or.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm alright.
Oh, your job is just to tell the main character, hey, buddy, this is how you do this stuff. This is what you do. And no, I'm good. We're good. I know, but it makes sense to my part, your part. Now, for the female characters, what do we get for the women? You get
It's so interesting. I've never analysed it like this. Go ahead.
Really?
No, I've never stopped to think
Dude.
about it. But I know people in films say that there are these certain parts, certain roles that.
Every
that
movie I go
typecast.
to, I see
Never
I
analysed it
see
like that.
the same typecast, different name, different
Like,
hairstyle.
I see it, but I don't really think about it. Like, how can I put it? I think what does it for me, and I'll go into this a bit more when we continue, is just how I don't like the representations that I see, which is why I don't really watch a lot of black films, to be honest, because I always feel like they're always putting people in these boxes, and it just takes away from the
But
humanity.
it's the writers though.
But,
So
no, 100%. But continue.
You get a non-black writer write a story for a black character, and they write it based on an assumption, or they'll ask their two of their three black friends who basically don't live down south like that, like everyone else does, and assume that everyone knows how everyone does, but it doesn't. So you're gonna get, you say of the character, you're gonna get about say 10% right, but you miss 90%, and that 10% you got right, because you don't know, you're going to exaggerate that 10%. You understand? You're going to exaggerate. You're going to blow that out of proportion. You're going to do all that stuff. Boom. I mean, from where you live, where I live, you and I know people who, right, for reasons unknown, they cannot work a 9-to-5 job. They've tried, but they just couldn't get it, right? And these people didn't plan their lives ahead. So what's happened is they've ended up in a scenario where they have children, they have families to look after, take care of, and they need to make money. Now what they do, bear in mind, I'm not supporting this, I never have and I never will. They've done things whereas they go and they sell. They're not selling out of, oh, this is the flashy lifestyle. They're selling because they've got kids to feed, because the kids have got to go to school. I've seen this, you've seen this, we've seen this. This is the life they live. If they could choose something else, they would, because and I see them constantly trying to get out of that life. But guess what? That baby needs new nappies. Everyone needs something else comes up. So they might save, like, I don't know, £200 and start thinking, okay, that's gonna hold us for the next 2 weeks and blah blah. But then something else comes up, then I have to go and sell that, sell this. I've seen that, and it's not like in the movies where, oh, this person is a drug dealer, therefore he's the most evil person. He's got a knife behind his back and he's doing all that stuff. It doesn't work that way. You might get the occasional psychopaths who they just do that because they're just crazy. But it's not every drug dealer out there. Again, I don't condone drug dealing because clearly it's bad. At the same time, I'm not saying that the person that's selling drugs is the most evil in the world. Yeah, he's selling drugs to the kids. It's horrible. Please get another job. But right now, I can't just wish another job on someone.
It's, what's interesting, right? I grew up in council housing. They call it the projects in the States. It wasn't, mad, scary or dangerous, really. But what was interesting was going there, but then also going to a private school. I got to see two different worlds.
Thank you.
And what was fascinating was, it was a bit like Trading Places, where, he kind of gets to see life on the street, and then he gets to see life at the stockbrokers. I was getting to see these two different sides of society, and what was fascinating to me was, it was very much like Trading Places. It was people being products of their environment.
Yes.
So the kids I would go to school with, them going to university was just a foregone conclusion.
Yes.
For, I would say, 90% of them.
Absolutely.
It wasn't if. It was which
uni
uni you're going to go to. They're going to uni.
You are.
And this wasn't about how intelligent they were.
There's no question about it.
It wasn't about how intelligent they were. But their mum went to uni, their dad went to uni, their brothers went to uni, the sisters went to uni. They had like 2 or 3 cars. It was just the norm for them.
Yes.
And so because it was the norm, they just fell into it. And so I saw kids, for example, who didn't work hard, right? Got shit grades. Like, I remember one kid, he got like a U and 2 E's. And he was not studious, didn't care about school. I wouldn't say he was the most intelligent. He used to love football. Was trying to get into a uni to play football somewhere at some sort of level. Didn't happen. Left school, like I said, with no qualifications. For some people, that would be a ticket to, like, 'being unemployed. But I remember he came back to school about 3 months later, and he had on a trench coat and like a 3-piece suit. And his dad had spoken to a friend of his,
Connections,
and got him a job as a stockbroker.
Done.
He's set.
Done.
Do you know what I mean? On the flip side, I grew up around kids where their brother sells this, their uncle sells that.
Yes.
With some of them, their mum and dad were
Yes.
selling stuff.
Yes.
With some of them, they were selling it out of their homes.
Yes.
So people were coming to their house, like literally to their house.
Biggie told
right?
you. Never
So-
sell no weed where you rest at.
Which to me is insane, right? And
Yes.
the amount of people that were doing that where I was growing up it was a good few. But kids growing up in that, then they see that as the norm. So if all your friends are like, okay, this weekend we're gonna go uptown and we're gonna do ABC, right?
Yes.
we're gonna do this little maneuver here, or like, oh, actually, if we go out on this street here, do you know what I mean? Da 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 da. Do you know what I mean? If that's what's around you, if gangs are around you, and now it's so much worse because there's a lot more knives, there's a lot more gangs, there's a lot more violence. The music is like on a completely different level.
Right.
So I think that's one of the things a lot of people don't really get. Like, they think of people as being a certain way, but it's largely due to the environments. And I can't remember the exact quotations, I'll paraphrase, but the idea being that, like, if you had a plant and it wasn't growing in a particular environment, you wouldn't blame the plant. You would take the plant, you'd repot it in different earth, you'd put it in a different space. Like, I've got a plant in my home now where it's like in one room it doesn't grow because there's something about the light and the air and whatever there. But if I put it in another room, in another space, another environment, then it grows, it flourishes. But people don't apply that when it comes to this.
Right. So now here's why I like you said that. That and
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
No, that's great. But here's why I step back into that. So when you see the kids or the parents or the adults that do that, does the media influence that as well? Example.
Yes.
If you're
Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about the roles of women as well.
oh, it's
So I don't
coming,
know
it's
if you
coming.
wanna-
We have time.
Don't give me that fucking look. What? It's like, I'm always on point.
No, I got you.
Go ahead.
Now, here's what I find interesting, right? I like I said about the trading places. That's very important because
That's why I love that movie.
I love that. So you are in a estate, raised there, and you don't see a lot of older people because boys need men that look like them to give them an idea of what you could be when you are at that stage in life. Girls need women that look like them to give them an idea of what they could be at that stage in life. This is why
So true.
representation and misrepresentation counts. If you don't see a brother out there doing good that looks like you are never going to inspire to do better. It may not be your own father as a boy. It may be another man in that your vicinity. It may not be your mother as a woman, but it will be another woman in that vicinity
Who looks like
who
you.
looks like you. So, black kids who grow up in an area where not everyone goes to university, goes to even college,
Yeah.
right? Just does their own thing. You don't see people that look like you that do better. So now you turn the TV on, you go cinema, you watch a movie, 10, 20 movies, and you go to the movies with the expectation that the actors that are doing this role are better than you in their role as a character. But when you don't see someone that looks like you that's doing better than you, that makes you look, oh, I want to do just that when I'm an adult. You don't aspire to do more. Does that make sense? You don't aspire to be better. So now a lot of kids today, the TV's on, they're looking at the rappers, they're looking at the actors, they're looking at what these guys are portraying. They're portraying jewelry, they're portraying all these expensive things that are fashion but not function. they're a waste of money. If you have £1,000, why would you waste £900 on jewelry? You would do that because the person on TV is wearing that. So their representation makes you think, oh, if I dress like that person and I speak like that person and I act like that person, I'm going to be famous like that person. You understand? So now they're no longer thinking about, okay, I want to do 1, 2, 3 to make the world a better place. No, it's not. I'm looking out for me. I'm looking out for me. But when they see a character out there that represents everybody else, I'm doing this for we, not for me, for we, that makes them think and do better. All they need to see is that, oh, this person that looks like me is doing something positive. Why? Because they're not in a survival mode. Because they got out of that struggle mode. But they don't see that. So they aspire to be like that negative portrayed character, which is my issue with the misrepresentation of the men. When it comes to the women, it's not different. It is not different. I feel so bad for the women. I do. I genuinely do, because women get it worse and it sticks. For the boys it sticks, for the girls it sticks as well. So now you as a young girl, you grow up seeing a woman that looks like you on the set, continuously being played like that. So what are the stereotypes we get? We get the sexual diva, the women that are over-sexualized, right? Everything about them is, the first impression is sex, 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 sex.
That's a big one nowadays too, man.
The first impression is sex, sex, sex. Everything about her screams
the way she dresses,
sex.
everything. Yeah.
And then you get your PNS, and then you wonder why you can't see anything about her but just a sex symbol or a sex doll, more like, right? So you see sex, 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 and what's the other one? The angry black female.
And the interesting thing is the sex one's portrayed as some form of empowerment as well now, which is kind
Empowerment.
Yeah, well, it's like I've heard people talk about certain female like artists and stuff who really push that whole sex thing.
Now,
and I've heard some people talk
like
about
that.
them like, oh, she's so amazing, and I'm like, really? Like, that's what you look up to?
You see what you're doing though? That again is representation.
It's representation, like you said.
So here's what's interesting, right? I got you. So somebody is talking about how this person is a sex symbol and is making her powerful. You're not. You're selling her as a sex slave, right? You don't realize it. How? That person that owns that camera recording is not you. Does that make sense? So the recording company is not representing you.
That's the thing, you're right. If you've got power and ownership over that,
Yeah.
it's a little different, right?
When you own your product, you talk different. When that company is your company, you know what you're there for. But the person behind the camera, your Dr. Vlad TV, yeah, I said it with chest. Fight me.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
I try and be impeccable with my word, but I'll keep it real. I cannot stand that show.
Basically, ordinarily, I don't, what's the word I'm going to use? I don't shoot down anyone.
Same.
I don't.
Same.
I have love for everyone. But
he's an agent of
when
chaos.
when a person goes out of the way to make sure you are not winning, I don't like you.
He's an agent, man.
I don't like you.
Fully.
But that's the reality of it, is that the person behind the camera knows what they're doing. They know what they're looking for, and they post what they're looking for. And that's the thing. So if I am saying that this woman is a sex symbol every time, I'm basically convincing you, the public or the audience, that the only way you can make it in life is to sell sex as a woman. That's wrong. And the others that promote and go, oh no, blah blah, the sex symbol, you don't understand your message. What you say, what you intend to say, How you say it and how it's received are three different things. What you intend to say, how you say it, and how it's received is different. So you might think, oh, I like the fact that this person has used her body to make a business and make money and do a company and blah blah blah. I see that. But when you call a woman a sex symbol, you are telling the girls coming up that the only way you can make it in life is by using your sex, your body. That's not how to promote the world today. Because what's happening is you're gonna get men hearing that message as well, and you've now typecast the women, and the women will not be seen as anything but a sex slave, which is what you're only good for sex, nothing more, which now increases that whole PNS mindset.
The system's real interesting too, though, because if you look at great female MCs, like say you look at Jean Grey. There's another artist called Invincible I heard some years back. Rhapsody. You know, they'll talk about how record companies want them to take off their clothes, record companies want them to present themselves like that, and doing that will lead to more opportunities, doing that will lead to more high profile, because you're going along with that stereotype that they want to push out to people. They don't want you to push out this image of like an intelligent, you know, capable, skilled woman. So
because it doesn't make money.
But and it's bullshit too, because it would make money if it was promoted. But it's like there's an agenda, man. There's a clear
The record
agenda.
label doesn't care about you. They don't care about you, your family, your clan, your tribe, your race. They don't care about. They care about how much money they can get out of you. When things go south, they don't care. When things go wrong, they don't care. When things aren't going well, they don't care. They care about how much money they can make of you, because you're now a workhorse. You're a mule. That's what you are. Don't get mad. And see, this is what I don't like, right? Here's the reality about it. And I've always said this to you. I've always said this to you about a lot of people, is that just because you're a nice person does not mean everyone is nice. But what happens is, we as human beings tend to automatically, without thought pattern, automatically judge others the way we judge ourselves. So if you are kind-hearted by nature, without thought, you will see everybody around you like they are kind-hearted by nature. They're not.
Nope.
You see my point?
I'm smiling.
Just because you invite everyone into your house and you feed them, you will now automatically assume that everyone else does that. That's not the case.
Not at all.
It doesn't happen that way.
Not even close.
But one needs to get burned in order to realize, hold on. Oh, so human beings are assholes. Oh. But you see my point? And that happens a lot. We assume, oh, this person gave me $1 million to drop an album. He must like me very much. They don't care. They give you $1 million because they know they can get 15 out of you. That's why they give you $1 million. They don't care about you. You're the next person. They'll paint your hair blue. They'll make you say a song that doesn't make sense. What? Who? No one cares. They make money out of you, and you are out there misrepresenting. So all the girls out there looking at you, they now think, oh, she was twerking in a video, therefore the more I twerk, the more attention I get.
Yep.
Everyone liked that video of her twerking because she was wearing a thong and a blah 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 blah, this and that. So in order for me to get all the male attention in the world and for me to be liked by my peers, this is the again, representation and misrepresentation. In order for my peers to like me, I need to go and twerk as well, or twerk even harder, or twerk with less clothes on it, and that's it. So, alright, you've seen this. You live in the world today, right? What gets me when I see a picture of a girl taking a selfie and it's from behind,
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why?
It's monkey see, monkey do, man.
Just why? And to date, every woman I've asked this question to cannot genuinely give me a logical answer.
That's because it's not about logic. It's what you just said. It's subconsciously, when you see something enough times, your subconscious is primed to do it. Like you might not even consciously realize who you've copied it from.
But it's a Pavlovian thing, though.
It's the Pavlovian. That's why I said monkey see, monkey do. It's like a conditioned response. It's very natural. If you've seen something over and over and over again, and like you said, your brain's associating it with a certain thing, because it's not like you're just seeing some crazy person in the street doing it. You're seeing celebrities doing it, and celebrities are pretty much the gods and goddesses of today.
They are your new leaders,
right? They're the new leaders. So if Kim Kardashian's doing it, if your favorite singer, your favorite actors, actresses, influencers, fitness models, even people who are, like you were saying before, who are PTs, right? Supposed to be teaching people training and all this kind of stuff. A lot of times they're doing similar things, but wearing stuff which is showing their bodies and doing poses in certain ways. So it's the norm now. It's just considered the norm to do these things.
Sex sells. That's the word, right? Sex sells.
Yeah.
And that gets my goal, because it falls back to that again, misconception that men only see sex.
Yeah.
Men only want sex. Dude, no. Men only want sex, only see sex. No, it's not. When all you're given is sex, that's all they see.
That's what Patrice O'Neal said. He said, "That's all I want if that's all you got."
That's it.
If that's all you got.
When all you have to offer is sex, that's all a man is going to see. People don't. Jesus, man.
I know exactly why you got that frustration in your voice, because I see the same thing. Like I mentioned this example before, but I was.
It's frustrating me, sorry, because I look up to women a lot. You don't understand. Women have a higher pain threshold. Women are
incredible.
It's not like I'm simping.
Nah, not at all.
Women are freaking awesome, right?
Yeah.
But society you're living in today downplays you. It brings your power down. 10 notches.
While pretending they're giving you
While
power.
pretending to care about you. They're selling you short. Literally selling you short. Legit. So I go like, why? You're much better than this. Yeah, all you're throwing is punani around. Are you serious? And then, legit. And then, years later, you're wondering why you can't settle down with somebody. Because people have seen what you do outside and they don't want anything to do with you. Nothing. I mean, today the internet's crazy. All your info is up online. What you did years ago is still there. It's still there. There are many women out there that have retired from the sex industry, right?
Can't have relationships.
They can,
Morning.
but it's not serious. And then they wonder why. They go, but I've retired, I've quit this job, blah, blah, blah. But I can't find someone to settle down with. It's not him, it's you.
There's a lot of those videos on YouTube at the moment. Ex-porn star reveals she can't find a steady relationship. See, it's interesting because I never made that connection before, but it's the same principle, right? Like I mentioned this to you once before. I met this actress once, and we're on the set. She's doing some background on this movie, and I get talking to this woman. She's beautiful, bro. Like beautiful. Like you could just sit and look at her, and very intelligent. And she was talking about things she wanted to do and her business, and we had a really good conversation. And I network a lot when I'm on set, so I tend to before I leave I usually have a few more contacts. So we exchanged social media handles, went onto her socials, and every single picture was her in like a super revealing outfit, like really see-through, but like really over the top. It got to the point where I just unfollowed her because it was just like, ugh, like every single picture. And if I hadn't met her, I would just think, okay, yeah, she's probably a bit of an airhead who doesn't really have anything else going for her. But she's actually not like that.
She's
but
not.
her whole presentation was that.
She's nice. She's
She
awesome.
was nice. She was
She's
super
got a great
funny.
mind.
She was sweet. She was intelligent. She was really sharp.
Exactly.
But the presentation, I was just like, it was just
front door.
It was just doing my head in, like every day, like another picture of her, just like,
the front door. That's the thing. It's like
this.
When you lead with that, every other guy sees just that.
Guys guys don't want relationships with women like that. Like they might have some fun with them, but they won't take a woman like that seriously.
No, they won't. But dude, thank you. Again, that's a misconception.
What's that?
There's attention. There's attention. There's that sexual attention, and then there's that real attention.
Yeah.
If you start your front page with sex, that's all they're gonna see. Because if someone sees that first, they, as much as they try to see other things, they can't see it.
And I saw the other side first. Bear that in mind. But it was still just like, oh, this is so like shallow and just like.
So like shallow.
It's just it's so like shallow and just like narcissistic. Like, oh my god. Like, another selfie with like a see-through dress. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I've seen that was all. Nowadays there's the whole like a see-through dress thing.
It's just
whereas like you're not naked, but
you're pretty much naked.
Well, you know,
pretty
so
much.
that way you can get past the algorithms and show nudity without saying it's nudity. So, I'm wearing a dress. You're not.
Something from my imagination, man.
You're not. Something from my imagination.
Like,
oh, bro. Oh, funny. You're funny. You sound and seem more like a sapiosexual.
Me?
Yeah.
The mental side is important to me, for real.
It's a mental turn up.
Absolutely, man.
Happy to be able to sit and have a combo with them. That's good enough. That's good enough.
That's huge for me. Like,
that's good enough.
Where's your head at? Like, how do you think?
But that's my point though about representation, and again being misrepresented. Example, you get celebrities telling other people how to get a person and how to keep a person. So you get celebrity females who are never happy themselves telling other girls how to keep a man.
That's the
how to get a man, how to keep a man. Not with sex, mate. Not with sex. No. You've got to give him the gawk. You got the mate. You laugh. I mean,
it helps.
Cause you see those circles. You see those circles about, oh no, the way to keep a man is to give him sex and sex and sex and sex and sex. Okay. And then you wonder why you can't keep your man. Okay. And then, oh, he's seeing somebody else. And what's the first question? Oh, is her sex better than my sex?
Oh boy.
Jesus. Mate, this is the world we live in, you know. Genuine world we live in. Not knowing that person gives him peace. And a calm mind. And everything else. But yeah, we get the wrong answers, and we also get the men trying to advise other men about.
There's a lot of that too, right?
The one I like these days is the, what's the word? Manosphere? Is that the manosphere?
Oh boy, let's get into that, please.
Oh, dude. Today, actually, it's part of it. Fine.
Yeah, because it's all representation and misrepresentation, right?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Manosphere, right? So, the manosphere in itself is supposed to be a safe space for men to open up about what they go through, what they're going through, what other men go through that they don't get the advice or the help from common society. So men go to the male circles to get help and get advice and get all these things they need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a few manosphere pages have gone from telling men how to be better to bashing women, female bashing.
Yeah.
The whole idea of the manosphere is to help men get better. Better at whatever they do, 1% better every day. What tends to happen is that a lot of people who start the manosphere pages are too young in the game.
Facts.
That's the reality. They are too young in the game, which basically means it's not just your age, it's your experience as well. The manosphere is meant to be run by men who have life experience, who have seen and done things, and they can advise the younger men, this is how you do it, it's what you do. What's happened is those circles, those kind of circles, not all of them, some circles have found a way to go, oh, they can make money out of this. And what they do is they just repeat negative bias and bash women and praise men and tell men that this is what men should do. But then they give it an extreme of it, which is basically not every part, but there's some pages that their job is just to say how bad women are. They're not bad.
Yeah.
You know, same way that some women say men are bad. It's not. Every
It's almost
single
like a
person.
backlash to that, I think, you know.
Well, yes. What happens is a lot of
decades of men being bashed, and I think there's a bit of a backlash where it's almost, which is funny because it's quite feminine, really, to be
it's
like,
ping
well,
pong.
because women are.
No, you
women
did
ain't
this.
shit
No,
either.
you did this. No,
It's
that
a bit
it's
like-
ping pong. They're playing ping pong.
Is that what we're doing?
The idea of the male circles is not to bash, admonish, or have a go at men. Not at all. It's basically me saying to guys, listen, whatever you're doing, good in your life, but you want to be more focused on your purpose than chasing women. It's not about your body count. It's about your experience. So you can have a great experience with 2 people, or you can have a body count of 100 people but have no experience.
It's very
Makes sense.
true. That's a really
Just because
good
you've
point,
had,
actually.
it's a reality.
That's a really
Just
good
because you've
point,
had
'cause that
lots of sex
doesn't mean you've had depth of experience.
It does not mean you have
Doesn't mean
depth.
that at all.
You can gain so much depth.
Chances
with
are you
one
haven't
person.
actually. If it's
That's-
100 people do,
Said
you've
it.
just been quick.
Said it.
Quick.
The people who have more partners, right, more sexual partners, have no experience. Sexually, maybe.
Sexually, you have more experience.
No. Sexually,
Well,
maybe.
Maybe, and that's another thing. 'cause
Sexually, maybe.
Do you know why I agree with the maybe?
Mm.
I remember at one point they were talking about some celebrity. I'm not going to mention his name, being like the guy who basically was the swordsman, right? Like he was
The swordsman. Zorro!
impeccable swordsman, right? Like he was getting tons of women. But what they were saying was that it was mostly one night stands, and I found that interesting because how much experience do you get if you're having sex with someone once compared to spending more time with them? Because a lot of times the sex gets better as you get to know them more, they get to know your body, they get to know theirs. But if you're just kind of running around with this quick kind of hit and run, you're not really having intimacy or depth or really learning on a deeper level.
Connectivity.
Yeah, so I think body count can be kind of misleading sometimes in terms of having experience.
No, body count's ridiculous. That body count thing, I got now, mate. The more you have with a person, the more you lack the ability to pair bond.
I think it makes it harder to connect. to
You
one
can't
person.
connect or pair bond with a person because you've had so many partners. You are so used to switching tables that when you're on the best table in the world, your psyche, yourself, your being, you're so used to switching tables that you cannot sit down on that table and go, this is the best table in the world. You just can't.
You've trained yourself to change, right?
You are addicted to the switches. Like I said to you about porn stars not being able to settle down. It's not him, it's you. You are addicted to keeping switching. You have the best person in the world, and because you love that person, you know what you're gonna say? Oh, let's have an open relationship. Do you see why that comes out? Do you see how and why that comes out? Anyway, you get my point. male circles, manosphere, male circles. The task, the idea, the mission is to make men better, one step at a time, 1% better every day. Better in what way? Here's what it is: better to be a better part of society, better to be a better part of their community, better to the point of where they give to the community, so that they're actually an active part of the community, because that community keeps the women safe, keeps the children safe, keeps other men safe. That's why men get better. Men are more appreciated when they have a skill to give, which is why men have got to be on their purpose, on their grind, because it makes them a better part of society. It makes them a better cog, a better wheel, a better part of the whole clock.
It's also better for yourself.
It is.
Because you would, like, one of the things I've realized is life's growth, right? So if you're not growing, you're kind of dying. And so when you're on that journey, and it doesn't have to be massive, like you say, it could just be incremental growth. Like, that's my focus, is just, you say 1% a day, similar vibes. I think of it as incremental gains or perpetual progress. I'm just like, how can I just tweak this a little bit here? How can I make this a little bit better? How can I improve this a little bit?
That's it.
That adds up so quickly when you do that consistently. And that progress makes you feel better about yourself.
Yes.
It gives you a sense of self-esteem, a sense of accomplishment. And it becomes addictive, because what I'm finding now is I used to take on too much, but I've recently realized that I need to be as 100% as possible with the stuff I promised myself I'm going to do. So I cut some stuff out, and I've got so sharp with it over the past few weeks that I can just see like all these things clicking and just getting better, like my numbers with training and all these different things. And what's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Sorry. Why do you promise yourself things when you have a mindset of my word is my bond?
When I say promise, I'm talking about the same things interchangeably. Like, to me, if you say something, it is a promise.
Right.
That's the point. That's the point I was making.
Spellcasting.
So, but I found that as you get consistent and that momentum starts building, it becomes addictive, man. That progress becomes really addictive, and you really want to just keep pushing forward and moving forward. So, yeah, getting better. I think that's what it's all about. And you can always improve. So my thinking now is like, how can I improve at everything, like constantly, and not from a place of I'm not good enough, not from a negative space, because sometimes people may be they're doing it for a sense of validation, or they're doing it like, do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm not good enough, but if I achieve this, then I'll feel good about myself. I don't mean that. Like you're I'm talking about being at peace with yourself, accepting yourself as you are, but at the same time still wanting to progress and grow.
See that? That's what you need to show people. That's what people need to see.
Yeah.
Because that's what we call representation.
That's a good.
People see that, oh, you're not perfect, but you are on a constant grind to be and to do better. That's what the world needs to see.
That's an example worth putting out there.
That's the manosphere needs to see. That's what everyone needs to see. Male, female, dog, cat, horse, transformer, whatever it is. Everyone needs to see that. Because that's your character. That's who you are. That's who you become. It's just, I'm here today, but I'm on the constant grind to make myself 1% better every day. That's what I do, though.
That's what it's about. I've been thinking about this more in terms of how I put stuff out as well, because with the poetry and other stuff, like, as I'm creating, for the most part, I've just been performing and presenting it, but I've been thinking more about, like, okay, what's the message I want to put out, and what's the idea, and these are some of the things I want to get across. It's like inspiring people to express themselves and tap into their potential, and to be brave enough to put their stuff out into the world, like, because it's not easy to do, But that's one of the things I definitely want to do more of, is just kind of inspire people and challenge them to just get out there and just keep working on that. Those incremental gains are amazing. Like I was working on Saturday, and it's for this company that I've done some events for before, bartending. And I can remember a couple months back we had one particular event, and it was dark, and like I'm making these cocktails, and I didn't know them 100%, so I was still kind of learning. And I remember like as I'm trying to open the tin, it was getting stuck, and I remember the feeling of pressure because there was a lot of people, and I was kind of stressed, man. And at one point I was like, oh, why am I not getting this? Because I've done it quite a few times, but for some reason I couldn't. There was some issue, and I was just separating the shaker. And this time I was there, and I was so on point, and just the feeling of like progress, like because I've just stuck at it and kept on improving and stuff, and just being able to just add slight little flair touches and just making it more fluid and smooth, and being able to talk to someone at the same time, and you're like doing your shit and and it was such a nice feeling. Like that's just a little progress. But I think those little personal victories, like no one even necessarily knows what you're doing.
That's your victory.
But that's your victory, fam. It's not like to tell everyone, although I'm telling everyone now. It's like, what's that line? Private victories precede public ones. So it's like those little moments, man. They're so rich. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, yeah, I stuck at it. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're doing your martial arts, you know, certain technique. You know what I mean? It's taking you a while to get that, and then at a certain point, boom, it clicks.
What would you suggest we do to inspire the young men coming up? Next generations. What would you suggest we do to make tomorrow better?
It's a good question, man. I think one of the things is there needs to be more just contact. And this idea popped into my head a while back. I haven't shared it with you, but some sort of almost like a big brother thing where they're able to spend time with those people. Like there was one organization that I did some stuff for, who would go into colleges, prisons, schools, just different places to speak to young brothers, and just have them speak to, you know, older guys, because it was that idea of mentorship and role models, and the place was a bit disorganized, and at one point I just got a little frustrated with how they were running certain stuff, so I stopped working with them. But I think the principle made a lot of sense. So I think one of the things is just having that direct contact. Like there's a few guys that I speak to on a, you know, semi-regular basis. They'll reach out to me, ask me questions, or I'll check in with them, and they'll ask me, so how do you do with this? Or they'll ask me questions about life, women, or whatever. I think those relationships, building those networks is powerful, and also I think demonstrating it through showing your journey can be powerful too. Because if I can show you, okay, this is me here, and then this is me 3 months later, 6 months later, and this is what I'm doing now, I think that can be potentially inspiring too.
For that one, I've got stories to tell for that one. Just generally, what I've learned is the young men, young boys, their main concern is making money. So we can go to every school in the world and talk about how things happen and blah blah blah. If we're not giving them jobs, they don't care. If we're not giving them jobs and responsibility, they don't care. It's kind of why I want to have as many businesses as possible.
So you can put people in positions.
So I can put people in position of power. They can run the businesses, get hired, whatever. But I'm also a main boss. I am a main boss. If you don't follow the rules, then why are you here? That's my question. If I say we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get paid to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're not doing that, I will genuinely look at you in the eye and go, why are you here? Because if you can't do it, I'll do it myself. Everything I'm doing right now, I can do it myself. But that's the point of responsibility for the young ones. It's basically, why are you here? I'm not paying to waste your time or waste my time. I can do it myself. I don't need you here. I'll take time off and I'll do the work. 2, another thing I do, because as you know, I hate lateness. I hate lateness. I always allow the first lateness. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna let that first one slide. Second time, we have a sit down, heart to heart, face to face.
Wow.
And I don't play, you know. I don't play. We have a heart to heart, and I go, here's what it is. In the last blah 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 time, you've been late twice now. I don't want to hear why you're late. You've been late twice now. You've been working here for this amount of time, and you've been late twice. I'm the boss, but I'm here early. Don't give me a back talk. Just ask you a straight question. Now, why should I keep you here?
Wow. After the second lateness, yeah?
I don't play. Everyone around me is on time.
That's
early.
That's standards, man.
It's my standards. I have my
That's
standards. I go, why should I keep you here? Because if you've been late twice in the past 2 months, right? Why should I trust that you won't be late next time? What's your guarantee you're gonna give to me that next time you come to work you won't be late?
Guarantee.
Give me a guarantee. I don't trust you anymore.
Define what you mean by guarantee. Is that
Oh,
like a
if
forfeit? Like
if
if they're
I'm
late,
late
they're gonna have to
again-
do this.
Yes.
You know what?
If I'm late, oh no, I got you. I'm not done. So
That's mad.
I go,
Good.
what's the guarantee? What's your guarantee? Oh, say because I have got mine already in my head. So I just want to hear. I want to hear you out. I said, so what's the guarantee you're late next time? Oh, if I'm late next time, then blah blah blah. You have nothing? Okay, here's mine. If you're late next time, you're fired. Shake on it.
Do you know why I'm laughing? Is because the standards is so different from like
I do it.
any place.
But that's my point. Any place
I
that's
can think
their
of.
business. My business is my business. Anybody can come to my business and not have a clue how mine is run. I know how mine is run. I know how mine needs to be run to keep you afloat. If I lose my businesses today, no one's gonna come and give me food. That's on me. You see my point? If everything falls because I was being lax with my staff, that's on me. No one's gonna care about me. That's on me. So I know what I'm risking. You don't. The fact that you're late twice in a small amount of time means you know you don't care about my business. And if you don't care about business, why should I care about you? But this is also the representation they need to see. Someone who is about their game and does not play about it. Unapologetic. Uncompromising. Left is left, right is right. When they start seeing that they have something to lose, then the boy goes the way the man comes in, which is what? Responsibility comes in. They now start becoming accountable and responsible for their own actions.
Do you find that it's challenging to meet, not to meet, but do you find it's challenging to source people that meet those standards, or do you find that people adapt to them? Because I can see both sides of it. I can see a lot of people who are used to being late and have been late for a long time, and they would struggle to fix that. But on the flip side, I also know that once people get used to a certain standard, they will adapt to it as well.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, so do you find, generally speaking, in terms of finding staff, do you find it challenging? Because I see a lot of like slack people with staff, man, nowadays.
Right.
We see a lot of agency people, I see a lot of people who just have no standards at all, man.
Yes, because there's no fear of being fired.
Yeah.
So, now, the ones who are lax, just the way you kick them. The ones who are on point is the way you kick them. Again, pros and cons. The ones who don't take your job seriously, you need to let them know, listen, if you're not here to get serious, then don't be here. But then you have the ones who are on point, on game. The issue with that is they have been trained a certain way. They can't unsee what they know. So you still have to now retrain them in your ways. So there's no one size fits all. This is the whole part of being of the human cell. We are all individually different. As much as we're individuals, we're all, we're same but different. Same but different.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone fits in their own way they fit, which is what I find interesting. Yeah. So it all fits in its own narrative, its own director perspective. Yeah, I like it. But again, that's the character. The me is not on TV.
It's not.
The me, I'm not on TV. I'm not in shows. I'm not in everything. I keep having this joke and laugh and say, listen, if you have a camera crew, follow me around town for a whole day, you have a whole series.
Yeah.
You have a whole day, just follow me.
You could get some good material.
Dude. Every hour on the hour.
That would be some other level reality TV show. The thing is what you're saying about you're not on TV. I often ask myself, like, where are the positive examples?
You're not gonna get it.
Like, it's literally non-existent at this
Well,
point.
there's a reason.
There's occasionly in one movie, you might find...
I'm
trying to think of one now.
Color Purple.
Don't come on now.
Still I get a groove back.
I'm trying to...
No, we're
trying to think of a positive.
I am angry now.
A positive male role model. Can you think of one?
None.
A positive black male role model.
Perfect. None. As long as the narrative is not owned by a black person, there's none. Every black movie you see out there in Hollywood is not owned by black people. So you don't want... It's not a black movie. It's not. I'm not mad at whatever. It's just like I said earlier about Stella's groove back with whoever her name was, Vivica Fox, Auntie Diggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fake accent, right? What was the whole narrative? She was loyal to her husband and humble to her husband, everything, and then he got found cheating, and then she went to the Caribbean to get her groove back, and then what happened? What they told you was, oh, if you have been here, done here, you can always get a toy boy. Right? A toy boy makes you happy for life. Once you've got all your money and everything in the world, get a toy boy, you're happy, you're made for life. The Color Purple was what? Black man bad.
Black man abusive. What's Love Got to Do with it? Was that as well? Ike Turner. Tina Turner.
And then what's the other narrative? The only time black women are happy is when they're single and strong by themselves, without the black man. Or when they have black men there, but then they have a matriarchal society, but in an exaggerated way and or form, which is all the warriors are the women. The men are warriors too, but what happens is they're the ones that stay back while she goes and fights. You laugh.
I'm laughing because it's just the world's
Woman
so
King,
ridiculous
Wakanda
right
Forever.
Now. Oh, I know which movies you're talking about.
I know you know. I'm telling the world. Woman King, Wakanda Forever. Where are all the men?
Where indeed?
Absent fathers, eh?
And you know that one of the things about that to me, which is just so mad, is a little while back they opened up recruitment for the Royal Marines to women, and no one applies.
Right.
Like no one applied. Was it the Marines in the US? Or was it the Marines in the UK? I think it was the Marines in the US. They opened it up, like women were like, "Nah, I'm good.
We're not going in that one.
I'm good."
We're not going that one. I'm not having that conversation.
You don't want to get into that one.
No, I don't need to.
No, you don't need to.
I don't need to. It's not by force.
I'm just showing you, like, you know what I'm saying, like the difference between reality and... You know what a woman said to me recently though, and it was interesting. She was president of our Toastmasters club some years back, and I was on part of the leadership committee as well. I was the VP for education, so we used to work together. And I haven't seen her for ages, and recently we met up, and she was like, "Oh, I saw the Woman King, it was amazing." And she's like, "Have you seen it?" I said, "No, I haven't." haven't seen that movie. And she was explaining how, from her perspective, it was so cool to see women who were powerful, because for decades
I get that.
she'd
It's
seen
awesome.
women who were like, you know, just in the background, like screaming, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. For me, I guess what I would like to see is men and women together in harmony,
It's
right?
there. It's there.
So
It's
not
there.
not like men are here and women are just like useless and she's just a love interest, he's gonna kiss at the end of the movie, or the women are there and the men are just useless or weak or in the background, but like just, you know, just like working together like yin and yang. Do you know what I mean?
Or
like what about that?
Out of the blue, I've got two in my head already.
Go on.
Batman v Superman. BVS. That dude. So, okay, BVS was obviously, you know, the Batman Superman when they first met. Now that they're both fighting. Tell me, do you bleed? And what's the other one? Why'd you say her name, Martha? Mate, Martha.
Go on.
Everyone's mom's name is Martha, or Henrietta, or Grace, or whatever. Yeah, at that age, everyone's name was Martha. Anyway, these two guys are fighting, right? And then they meet a bigger force, stronger than them, and naturally they go, okay, we're enemies, now we're friends. Let's beat this big doomsday guy. Right. And they were taking on this guy. This guy couldn't move back a bit. He was whooping their asses, right?
Right.
Out of the blue, this Amazonian wonder just shows up. Wonder Woman. She shows up, kicks Doomsday's ass. That moment, that was beautiful screenwriting. That was beautiful representation for women. Here's how and here's why. You don't have to shit on the other race to make your race look good.
Gender.
Sorry.
Yeah.
God bless you, my man. God's favorite. You don't have to crap on a gender to make the other gender look good unless you have your own agenda. See what we did there? Yeah. So that was perfect because they had these two strong guys, and then she came in and made a trinity because she held her ground without making them look bad.
This is what
By them looking tough and her looking tough, it made her look tougher. When you try to make the men look weak in order to make the women look strong,
doesn't look
you
authentic.
make the women look inauthentic, like fake hair. Right.
100%. And then
Boom.
they just look like masculine women, and it just doesn't ring true. Do you know
The
what I mean?
movie Aliens with Sigourney Weaver, that was perfect. She rode with the Space Marines to kick alien butt, and they didn't have to make the Space Marines look weak in order to make her look strong. By them looking strong and her pulling her own punches, it made her look stronger. That's how you write a strong character.
Because it's authentic. Do you know what I mean? That's why it rings. It rings true because you're like, yeah, this is reality. Now, I get the whole thing of empowering women with these positive images. 100%. I think it's necessary. I think it's good. But like you say, just like I don't think it makes sense for men to have roles where women look weak and look just useless. Doing the opposite doesn't make sense. And I think there's a sense of divide and conquer with this shit.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, I'll play you off you and then play you off you. And then women are like, well, you know, at the end of the day, we've had to deal with it, and so you can deal with it now as well. It's like, how is that?
We'll crap on you, but make you better, and vice versa.
Progressive. Like,
it's regressive. It makes sense to us, though. It makes sense to me because I'm like, okay, so what we'll do is like, we're going to make the women just basic DIDs, damsel in distress, and then the men do all the stuff. Listen, no.
To be honest with you, I've never liked that either.
No, I don't.
Like, when I watch the fight scene and she's in the background and she's just like, I just think this woman's useless. Like, I would not want a woman like that on my team. My woman's picking up the toaster, a chair,
Boing!
something, right? Like,
I want to hear that. boing. Yeah, babe.
She's doing something, or she can fight. Do you know what I mean? Because we train
Or she
together
can
or
fight.
whatever, right? Like, yeah, that's never been it for me. Like, I never understood that shit. Where she's just in the corner, like, oh my god,
Dude, I understand
crying.
it.
It's
I
like,
understand it because the whole idea is to make. So when men and women are constantly clashing, they're not cooperating to actually
easier
build
to
to build up.
Yeah.
So when women and men are actually cooperating together, when there's cooperation, we build up better. Like when there's collaboration and cooperation, we build together. It does not have to be sexual. As long as you can collaborate together and build together, you're good as gold.
But the thing is, the divide and conquer thing happens with everything, but most people don't see it.
No.
So, for example, it might be a gender thing, or it might be a race thing. During the P word, it was around your medical status, whether you chosen to take the treatment or not. That was a line of dividing people. Sometimes it's done across sexual orientation. Where it's like, okay, now we're gonna suddenly champion this particular group and then play them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that same principle. It's just it works.
Big picture. It's big picture. People don't see the plan because they haven't got a big picture.
Because they're looking from their own thing. They're like, for me and how this affects me and da 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 da. But they don't look at the larger picture,
the big picture,
okay,
or
society's
a long-term plan.
Yeah, because society's weaker now, right? Because you have this division. There's like all these different little kind of groups in their little silos, all fighting for their own little ideological
free game.
ground.
Free game. If you want to learn and see how everybody is playing you, you want to start making your 100-year plan. That's it. Your 100-year plan. Once you make a 100-year plan, you start from having a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, a 50-year plan, a 100-year plan. When you have your 100-year plan, you start seeing everybody's 100-year plan.
Interesting.
Big picture. You don't see 20-year plans because you're not thinking 20-year plan. When you have a 100-year plan,
that makes a lot of sense. Then you start understanding why certain actions are taken.
Exactly. When you have a 100-year plan and someone does this right now, you're like,
I get how that fits.
You did that now. In 100 years, it's gonna be like this.
Yeah.
We ain't playing that. Right there, no.
Because you know where that's going.
You know where that's going. And then when it becomes more resilient, it starts to make more sense why they have their 100-year plan, which now makes you a bit more resilient. People don't fight back because they haven't got a 10-year plan.
Long-term perspective is
boom.
Huge.
If I have a 20-year plan and you are trying to tell me, oh, let's do this, that nonsense is going to affect my 20-year plan. I'm like, nah, fuck that. We ain't doing that. No means no. We ain't playing that. Because you have a short-term idea about this. You're thinking about, oh, for 2 years, it's going to be this. I don't care about 2 years. I care about 100 years.
Most people don't even think in terms of 2 years, man. They're thinking about like right now.
But I ain't most people.
No, you're
That's
not.
the beauty. You ain't most people. That's the beauty about it right there. You're golden. That's the magic. So yeah, free game. Make a list of your plans. Your 6-month plan, your 1-year plan, your 2-year plan, your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, your 50-year plan, your 100-year plan. You start doing that, you start seeing how everyone is playing you. That's it. I'm done. If you need me, you know where to find me. Simple like that.
Levels.
That's true. The easiest way to get that whole thing out for representation is basically keep doing this. Keep putting up videos. Keep putting up positive videos without you sending the wrong message. And one day they will see it. And they'll go and go, oh, cool. He's not speaking about guns, gangs, game. Nah, just speaking truth. Collaboration. Oneness. Cooperation. Big picture. community. We all help each other out one way or the other. Those who need to know, they will know. Those who want to hear this will hear this. It may take them 2 days to watch it, but this is good watch for you. It's good listening.
I'm intrigued now because I'm thinking about this as part of your 100-year plan.
It is. It is.
I know it is.
50 years from now, people are going to watch this and go, oh, that's that guy. Yeah. I've been on this for forever. Most things I'm doing today, I had a plan 20 years ago. And everyone thought it was crazy. Good. They thought they were crazy because they compared themselves to me. Because they thought, if it was me, I wouldn't do it. You ain't me, bro.
That is one thing that did pop into my head on the way here today, because I had a conversation with a guy and he told me about something he did, and he took a big chance, but he had a level of commitment and he believed he could do it, and he said to him, everyone around him was saying, that's not going to work, and I said, that's people projecting what they can't do
exactly
onto you. And
if you notice that
those are not the people you need to be around.
You say that to people more often than not. That you tell people, listen, you just do you. People go, no, that's not going to work. Yeah, it won't work for you because you didn't plan it. It works for me. So anyone says to me they're going to do 1, 2, 3, I'm like, do it.
Yeah, same.
The worst thing that will happen in life is you will die. Are you dead? You're still here. Keep going. Legit.
Yeah.
If you want to feel pain is constant. It makes you know you're human. Keep going. You're fine. Just keep going. Just keep doing it. If you fall down, get your ass up and keep going. You'll be fine. If you're tired, if you need help and support, I'm here for you. Simple as that. I'm here for whatever it is you're stuck at. I'm here for you. I'll help you through it. I got you. I'll help you through. Let's go. Boom. We keep doing that. We're good. That's what's interesting. It's like, no, people don't have that representation. Someone that goes, you know what? I believe in you. I believe you can do it. Whatever you want to do, do it.
Do it.
Is it positive? Is it growing? Keep good. Keep doing it. Don't worry. Keep going. And they go, but I'll lose money, dude. I've lost just this year alone. I lost tens of thousands. I lost tens of thousands on things that just went like this overnight. But I'm still here.
It's that thing to just keep going, isn't it?
Keep going. That's it.
It's that thing to keep going, because I remember there was one point when I was younger where if I hit certain obstacles or roadblocks, I would see it as a stop sign.
Yes.
Right?
No, it's not.
It'd be like, I failed, and then I would give up and I would get disheartened. But what I realize is those are the biggest moments, those are the biggest key moments and turning points, because those are almost like the crossroads where it's like, are you going to continue or are you not? So when I have, like I spoke about the thing with work, when I have nights like that go wrong, if I have a performance and it goes really left, even though my ego might feel a little bit bruised, the other part of me is like, that was actually really good. Because that's the stuff that builds your spine, like that gives you the strength to keep going.
Yep.
And then later on, you get to look back on that and go, yeah, that was like a key moment, because that was when I learned the most. Like when stuff goes well, you don't really learn as much, you don't reflect as much, you tend to be like, okay, yeah, I did it well. But when it goes left, when you have issues, when you have problems, like that usually makes you stop and regroup more and do you know what I mean? Learn from the experience. So
I tend to, I reward it. I give a different word into it. I don't say I've got problems. I say I get to have problems. I get to have big boy problems.
Yeah.
They are nicer problems to have. I get to have issues that I'm like, I'm in a point in my life where I'm having this kind of big issues. That's a good thing.
It is.
Because we forget the whole, for every level there's a new devil. For every step we're at, there's going to be something that's out there. I have problems and I'm like, thank God I have these problems.
Yeah, because you're always going to have them, right? It's just a question of which ones.
That's what it is. There's the mind that, if I get here, there'll be nothing more. No,
you're going to have
my dad told me this.
You're going to have bigger
my
challenges.
My dad said to me, like, listen, everywhere you go, you're always going to have problems. Everywhere you go, there's going to be something. Don't think, listen, if you are on the point of you having 5 pound problems, you ain't doing it right.
The one that kills it for me is the people that think, if I just won the lottery, I wouldn't have any problems. It's like,
You have lottery
Bro,
problems.
You're gonna have lottery winner problems, man. They're gonna be bigger problems.
I'm
It's gonna
telling
be
you.
it's gonna be managing money on that level. It's gonna be
You're
managing
gonna get those weird phone
relationships.
calls. The people that you thought you looked up to, they start calling you, and because you're so starstruck, you're like, oh no, this celebrity called me. Next thing, you get 50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know I did that, and then you want the money back. You're like, oh, but you signed a contract, huh? What? Next thing, you have only 10 grand in your account, but you want $1 million. What happened to all the money? You trusted celebrities because you look up to them, or this person was the face of Nivea or blah blah blah, and you fell for that nonsense. That, oh no, the money's gonna be in the account for like 2 years. If this blah blah goes bust, then you've lost your money, and it goes bust, and then guess what? You lose your money, and you can't even explain to me that, oh, this happened to you because you didn't know the game. You were so starstruck, and no one told you. When you're younger, listen, don't fall for the hype. The hype will kill you. This is the whole point of representation. So when I get the young ones out there say, listen, 1, 2, 3, I'm like, no. Slow down. Don't bust your nut too quick. Relax. You want to go 1, 2, 3, chill out. You've got this. The world is your oyster. You've got this. Go. Dude, that's the game. So anyway, that's my point of representation. If you need me, you know where I am. Don't know where I am, you know where I am. It's true. All of these people today. Oh, do you have a website? Hey, on Instagram. Do you have a no? Okay.
People are just lazy, man. I swear to God.
I don't condone laziness, you know.
It's like, how hard is it?
Well, no, be lazy
Like,
at your own time. Keep it there.
Put it
We're
on
good.
the plate for you.
Yeah. The one I like most is if you ask me more than 2 questions. Oh, how is your? On the 3rd question, I'm like, are you police?
That's what I say. Mine is, I say, who do you work for?
No, I said,
Why are you asking all these questions?
I'm like, are you police? I have a mental calculator, a mental count. 1, boom, 2.
After the second or on the 3rd?
On the second, I'm
On the
like,
second.
on the second, I'm like, it's like that whole like I'm on a sitcom. I look at the audience like,
It's good though, because some people, if you ask them questions, they'll just
keep going.
They'll just keep rolling,
And
man.
on the 3rd, I'm like, are you police? I'm just like, are you police? They, oh, what? Yeah. Ask me a question. Who sent you? Who do you work for? And now my tone just changes as well. Who do you work for? Anyway, yeah, this is the end. Anything else, please?
No, I have nothing else to add actually.
Okay. Well, on that note, Just Cruising 23 has been dope. Dr. Love, merci beaucoup. Muchos gracias. Shishini.
A la próxima vez. Until next time.
Domo arigato. Alguna cosa más.
Deuces.